Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawud coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth as sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump to this here article real quick, just dealing with the times that we living in, man. All right, you starting to see these prophecies speak loud and clear. All right, so we're gonna just jump into this one here from RT. It says the end of the American dream. All right, and that's what's going on, man. The Lord is opening up the eyes of these damn people, man. So, to have the American dream, you got to be asleep. Now these people are waking up there in a living nightmare, all right? It says the end of the American dream. Amid COVID-19 crisis, U.S. super rich flee to bunkers in New Zealand, which we're going to get into it. It says, while the majority of Americans have no choice but to put up with the shortfalls of their government amid the coronavirus crisis, the U.S. super rich are seeking refuge in New Zealand. New Zealand has become the go-to place for billionaires escaping the hypothetical apocalyptic scenario. Scattered across the country are a number of underground bunkers designed to keep the ultra-wealthy safe and sound in an emergency. The international media has fawned over Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern handling the COVID-19 crisis, put New Zealand in the global spotlight and as an example of what real leadership should look like in the Trump era and how to successfully run a healthy democracy. If one contrasts Ardern's effort with how the epidemic has been managed in the U.S., where more than 47,000 people have died, I can't say I'm at all that surprised that from the outside at least, New Zealand looks like a location in a utopian novel. Yet, while the majority of Americans have no choice but to put up with the shortfalls of their government, it appears there are some who have different plans entirely. And ultimately, this is why when we go into the scriptures, we tell you about, talking about Esau and his destruction, we always go into how, here in America, pretty much, one way or another, pretty much everybody gonna want to die over here, except save the elect, But nevertheless, we, especially we talking about Esau, but after this here destruction, you're still going to have Edomites left walking around on the earth, man. Not every Edomite's going to get destroyed at this here point in time, all right? Especially the elites. This is why we tell you, like, yo, the elites, they going to wind up making it. They're going to survive this here nuclear destruction over here in America because why? The scriptures say that they're going to wind up going into these damn bunkers and things like that. But not only that, they have to fulfill prophecy by being the first fruits going into captivity. They have to serve 1,000 years of slavery. So, hey, man, just like, these people were, the so-called, the last people to lift up a finger and do any work in this here country, or really in this whole time that they've been in power, all right, you had the same elites, but now they're going to be what? The first fruits to go into slavery, all right? It says, according to Bloomberg, there's a vast underground shelter network where I live just north of Christchurch, built by manufacturing companies Vivos that can house 300. Meanwhile, another such company, Roz and Esco, has allegedly built 10 private bunkers across the country and kitted out dozens more. They can cost as much as $8 million to construct and include such features as game rooms, shooting ranges, gyms, surgical beds. One Saudi national has allegedly requested a heliport at his James Bond-style subterranean hideaway, which connects to an underground mosque that has a price tag of 60 million US. All right. It says, to date, New Zealand media has been unable to independently verify these claims. Apparently, one local council has no records of any consent given for application to build bunkers or underground shelters in the area for the last 5 to 10 years. Nonetheless, it's been suggested that a number of Silicon Valley elites have already escaped the U.S. and have sought refuge in New Zealand. And unlike the rest of us, the super rich aren't hoarding food and fighting each other for toilet paper and hand sanitizer at the supermarket. Hey, you have to understand, these people ain't like everybody else, man. If anything, you know how you would go into the back of like how Sam's Club is super stocked with shit, Walmart super stocked, they got back rooms full of shit. That's the same way that these people have. They have bunkers where they have storage facilities inside these damn lavish ass bunkers where you can go inside a certain storage room and it's like a whole grocery store in there, and the whole thing is stocked, man. And a lot of these super elite people who have these bunkers and bunker networks, these bunkers are pretty much staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out the year, constantly rotating things around and constantly keeping these things ready to go and ready to roll. And this is just for your so-called regular, like they said, some of them can go for $8 million. That's really chump change compared to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, regular people can pretty much afford, regular Edomites can pretty much afford that with certain types of jobs, you know? But nevertheless, when you get up to these, you know, not even say the billionaires have even better things than that, you know? But you have some people that have, you know, way more than that, you know what I mean? And their bunkers are literally like how they was talking about this Saudi dude, you know, has the underground heliport and so on and so forth, man. All right. It says they're not posting up poorly constructed, badly edited renditions of Imagine, then patting himself on the back and saying, "I made a difference today." U.S. businessman Mahdi, I'm not going to pronounce his name, and his wife are seeing out the pandemic in New Zealand's Waikiki Island, where he is quipped to the press that they have planned to go billionaire hunting. God forbid that they might actually meet a poor or middle class person during their attempt to escape the fate destined for many of their fellow men and women and children. And ultimately, you know, this is why when we read into the scriptures about how the men of the Lord, they're going to eat, but the rest of these people are going to be hungry, you know, because their plan is that, oh, you know, they think they're going to be saved by their own arm. You know, they think that they, oh, we stockpile food and whatever, whatnot, you know. But the scriptures say, hey, man, hey, store up your treasures in heaven, man. All right, well, basically where rust doesn't corrupt it and so on and so forth. People can't come through and steal it and everything else like that. All right, the Lord said, hey, my servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. They're storing up this here food, but ultimately the men of the Lord is going to wind up getting all this stuff, man. All right. It says, apparently, a refugee fleeing the catastrophe who doesn't feel safe enough to avail themselves of the protection of their own country is acceptable in a Western nation as long as they are uber wealthy. In contrast, a refugee trying to escape war-torn Syria or Afghanistan, something to be feared, ridiculed, and ultimately rejected. Just over a year ago, see, they don't really care about the lower level people, man. That's how Esau really feels, man. Even with the rest of these Edomites, they don't care about the majority of these damn Edomites out here, man. They're like, well, shit, they should have got their paper right, man. Since just over a year ago, an Australian-born gunman and professed hatred for incomers opened fire on two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, killing 51 people and wounding dozens more. His movements were copycatted both in Europe and the U.S., highlighting the very real threat that white nationalists pose to the safety of the migrant communities. And ultimately, they just Edomites, all right? And they get war with every damn body, all right? They're going to live by the sword. That was their blessing, all right? While clearly an extremist, and they call us these things, but it's really these Edomites, response, the hypocrisy and differential treatment we see meted out on these different categories of migrants is astounding. No one seems to bat an eye when the ultra-rich build multi-million-dollar bunkers underground and place thousands of miles from their home country. I certainly don't recall seeing the gunman manifesto any distaste expressed for the parasitic ultra-rich who are plaguing Western society. And who are they really talking about? Or who is these parasites that they really talking about? It's Esau, man. Just like in the movie The Matrix, they say it's a cancer, you know? We almost done with this here article. It says, and what is the international fascination with New Zealand anyway? Haven't these giant CEOs, ultra wealthy psychopaths, read former member with Parliament Peter Dunn's op-ed in which he described New Zealand as an increasingly Orwellian society? All right, and what they don't understand is these ultra rich, they don't live and abide by the same laws that everybody else does. You see what I'm saying? They're not worried about this and worried about that. So they're not like worried about, you know, well, hell, Esau's gonna microchip every damn body, but they're not necessarily thinking about the same little shit that you thinking about, you know? It says, have they not, like we just read a little earlier, they're not over here going to the goddamn Walmart or grocery stores waiting in line to stack up toilet paper and things like that, man. They got all these things being shipped to them. All right. It says, have they not read Victoria University political analyst Bryce Edwards' post in The Guardian question how slow and very real erosion of New Zealand's democracy? I'm guessing they haven't read my take on the matter either. The New Zealand that super rich have come to admire is very different to the one which police officers shot dead a suspected criminal earlier this week, or that which police dragged, punched, and kicked a 13-year-old boy last year. And again, they not rolling up on Donald Trump or nobody like that, or any of these, you know, even low-level elites, like, fuck it, Bill Gates. They're not rolling up on no Bill Gates or nothing like that, pulling a pistol on him, asking for his ID and shit like that. If Bill Gates get pulled over for speeding, they see who it is, like, all right, have a nice day, Mr. Gates, keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? So they're not worried about this little petty shit like, you know, how me and you would be worried about being harassed by the police and so on and so forth. It says, however, if you're working out your underground gym, you probably don't need to care too much of what happens in the outside world. Some would say we have a PayPal co-founder, Peter Thiel, to thank for the current state of affairs. Thiel, who owns a 193-hectare former sheep station in New Zealand, has been advising the government through his data mining platform Palantir, which that's what you should look into, the Palantir ball. This shit is AI to a whole nother level, man. All right. About the use of management and tracking data during the COVID-19 crisis. Interesting how all that works out. And they've been using this Palantir system and police databases for a long time. This is how they understand, like, if you be posting certain shit on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram live while you reporting it, all of a sudden the police roll around the corner on your ass. This is because it's all connected, even to license plates, so on and so forth. I did a video about this a while back. It says the irony of which these Silicon Valley tech moguls are escaping the United States, the symbolic good guy in Hollywood movies that keep everyone safe in times of crisis. If the U.S. government can't even protect its people following decades of terrible movies persuading us to the contrary, perhaps it's time to admit the demise of the so-called American dream along with the collapse of its leadership. And that's ultimately what's going on. The facade and the so-called beauty of Babylon, like the scriptures say, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. All right, we would have healed Babylon, but Babylon is not healed because this is the end-all, be-all for Babylon, all right, or America. If ever proof was needed to the collapse of the U.S. and its protector of liberty, opportunity, and equality, then this is it. And until there are reports of New Zealanders escaping the pandemic to seek succor in America, then you'd be hard-pressed to conclude otherwise. Hey, and that's ultimately just showing the temperature, the climate that we're living in right now, man. All right, because look, these elites, we got our people that's still out here lollygagging, wanting to turn up and do whatever, whatnot, man. But you have to measure the time diligently. Read all the signs, bust your eyes to see the things that you see, man. All right, because it's clear to see out here that these people are ready to make their moves. All right, so we're going to start here in the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 20. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness. Let me go up. This is Job 20 and 15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast him out of his belly. Starting with, with first and foremost with their bunkers and their food and all that stuff. They're gonna want to be taken up out of those things, man. The men of the Lord are gonna get spiritual power. We're gonna be able to find them and everything, man. Take them right the fuck up out their little bunkers, man. All right, but nevertheless, it's just starting with that. But they didn't swallow up all the riches of the whole earth. But guess what? All these resources are gonna come back flowing into the children of Israel. You can read that in the book of Isaiah chapter 60. All right, about the gates being open continuously for the Gentiles. Basically, they're going to be bringing the goods, their gold, and everything to us, man. It says, he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up. The Most High shall cast him out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. See, that's what they so-called took all the resources of the whole world and got them a so-called escape plan as they try to go through and so-called exterminate everybody else on the earth. But ultimately, they're going to wind up throwing all these things back up, man. They're going to wind up giving up all these resources again, and they're going to wind up falling victim to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and they're going to be the ones that make it. They're going to be the first fruits in the slavery, man. All right? Verse 18, that which he labored for shall he restore. He shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because like I said, that's their ultimate plan. They're going to be sitting in these their plan is they're going to be sitting in these bunkers, sipping some super expensive wine and whatever, whatnot, laughing as everybody else is getting nuked off the face of the earth. They'll be like, oh, we'll just be down here for a while and we'll come back up and everything will be all good. Verse 19, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor. Like we was just reading in that article, they don't really give a fuck about the regular citizens or whatever, whatnot. They could care less about that. They could care less about the cannibalism and the people going crazy and killing up everybody up on a surface level, or nuclear warfare, nuclear fallout, you know what I'm saying, and nuclear piles of ash raining down. They don't care about all that because they're going to be underground in these bunkers, with the AC on, chilling, playing games, and the indoor pool, at the basketball court, at the shooting range, doing whatever, man. All right? It says, let me just go back up to verse 19. Because he hath oppressed and forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. All right. That's all the things that he didn't stockpile and hoarded, and all his gold and money and food and all those things. Verse 22, this is showing you the time frame of everything. All right. Because we can also understand by measuring the time diligently that this is the time where Esau is about to try to activate his New World Order system and push this RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. We clearly see that it's going on, especially under the cover of this so-called pandemic. All right. Verse 22 again, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And that's what these people, it's going to start with these people, man. They see that the ultra elites or whatever, whatnot, just look at it on a regular level, man. And these more affluent neighborhoods, the richer neighborhoods or whatever, whatnot, man, when people start starving and stuff and going door to door, you know, people in the hood, they're not going to be running through the hood because they know they ain't really got shit in the hood, man. They're going to go to these richer people, richer Edomite neighborhoods and stuff like that, these gated communities and so on and so forth, man. So how much more the people that's living in those communities already, or these Edomites is living out there in on big ass property and be hunting and so on and so forth, you know, they're gonna be going and look for these elites, man. They're gonna go looking, you know, bunker hunting basically. They're gonna go look for these damn elites, man. All right. It says, verse 23 again, when he is about to fill his belly, all right, when he's about to fully had his New World Order system fully in place, all right, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. He shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and come out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, and terrors are upon him. And that's talking about those thermonuclear missiles coming out of those silos when they're being launched, and they're going to rain back down, you know, to destroy the damn lands, man. All right, mainly here in America, man. All right, that's why that article say a lot of these wealthy U.S. citizens, U.S., you know, these rich folks here in the U.S., they flee into New Zealand to their bunkers. All right, because they know that, hey, man, the devil's about to come down with that great wrath because he know he has but a short time. They know what time it is. They somewhat in the loop about certain things, man. All right. Well, let me read verse 26 again, or verse 26. All darkness shall be hidden in secret places, and fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. That's talking about these Edomites, man. The ones that's they're gonna try to be, you know, you're gonna have Edomites here, just regular Edomites here, and they're gonna want to, you know, if they survive, you know, the famine, the sword, and all those other things, they're gonna want to be in missile food, basically. They're gonna want to be destroyed in these thermonuclear missiles. But then you're still gonna have these elites of these Edomites. They're gonna wind up being in their damn bunkers. And the minute of the Lord, they're gonna go and find them, and they're gonna pull them out their damn bunkers and eat all their damn food and take all their shit, man. And then put chains around their damn necks, and then they're gonna take them into captivity. All right, real quick, let me try to find that. This is Psalms 149. I'm gonna start at verse. Let me just start at verse 5. Let the saints, all right, which are basically, you know, talking about the Israelites, all right. Mainly, this is talking about the elect first and foremost, all right. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. All right. And what are they going to do with it? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people. Now, the people basically gonna already get their judgment because they're gonna die basically of sword, famine, pestilence, and all these different things going on, and then ultimately by thermonuclear missiles. All right. But like I said, you're gonna have Edomites that's gonna survive all of this. All right. So it says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings and with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. So these are those elites. All right, they're gonna wind up being what? It says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. All right, so this is what the, you know, the first fruits of the Most High, the first fruits of the elect. All right, they're gonna wind up taking in captivity the first fruits of the wicked, man. All right, they're gonna be their first slaves. All right. Let me go from there to book of Amos 9 and verse 2. All right, because we were just reading about those doomsday bunkers that they got. All right, which was already prophesied in the scriptures. All right, this ain't nothing new. They just fulfilling prophecy, man. All right, you know, some people in their simple mind would be like, well, shit, y'all see the elites got these bunkers. Y'all should be investing in a bunker or whatever, whatnot. We got our doomsday bunker. It's the spiritual ark. All right, we trying to be covered basically by the Holy Spirit, and you know, the Lord sent basically his guardian angels to you know, as a hedge around us, man. The Lord is going to protect us, man. We have faith in the Lord and in his son. We have faith in those names, man. The Lord, if we call on those names, the Lord is going to deliver us out of everything, man. Like the scripture say, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper, man. All right, that's what we believe in wholeheartedly. That's our doomsday bunker, man. That's our doomsday plan. That's what the fuck we got planned, man. You see what I'm saying? We gonna be here, right here, in the belly of the beast, ground zero until the missiles come down. But guess what? In a twinkle of an eye, man, we're gonna be changed. Not all of us is gonna sleep. We're not gonna all die over here, man. All right, the Lord's gonna come and redeem His elect right here from off this here land, man. All right, but nevertheless, it says Amos 9:2. It says though they dig into hell, all right, they digging in, basically, hell goes into like the pit or grave, literally digging into the ground. It says though they dig into the ground, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. All right, so look, the Lord gonna take them down, man. All right, it says though they climb up to heaven. All right, so let me go back. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. That's those underground bunkers. Though they climb up to heaven, then shall I bring them down. That's what the International Space Station is for. And this is what these so-called space hotels and the space travel for commercial usage is so-called for. This is a cover-up for these elites. They trying to get their, all this shit talking about, oh, let's go to Mars, let's go to... This is what the fuck they got planned for, because they know that they plan on destroying everybody on the earth. All right, they know that the Lord's gonna come back or whatever, whatnot. So their plan is to, try to basically kill off all the Israelites and, the Georgia Godstones. Have a small population, and then they're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying, with their cyborg type bodies and shit like that, and just live off here forever out of the so-called rule of the Most High. But ultimately, they're gonna get caught in their own trap, man. Their own snare is gonna catch them up. All right. Let me read verse 2 again. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, all right, also going into these bunkers inside these mountains, because they have a lot of these bunkers either inside the mountain or under these mountains. You can go on YouTube and look up, underground tunnels, things like that, where they have literally complete highways. They have like a whole highway systems under basically the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Where they could drive from like under Denver, Colorado. Under the Denver airport in Colorado is basically really is like the capital of the U.S. All right, they have a whole other base under that airport. That's why that airport is like out in the middle of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? It's not even near the city or anything like that. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. All right, but nevertheless, they have underground bunkers out there. And they also have a lot of so-called prophetic, murals and signs all around there where they show you the whole plan. They plan on using those thermonuclear missiles, all right, and basically to kill off the whole Earth, all right, and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, like I said, they have underground tunnel systems that run from the White House all the way out to Denver, Colorado, from coast to coast, man. All right, and then they also have, where they have like an underground highway and stuff for a lot of these trucks. They send a lot of trucks for certain things that they ship direct like that. Or also when they be moving a lot of military things and equipment, a lot of these foods and things. They also use a lot of these old salt mines for storage units and whatnot. Where a lot of these corporations, they use them as huge storage units underground, man. You can, like I said, go on YouTube. You can watch these big ass semi trucks just drive around through these things, and it's just like, from as far as your eye can see, left, right, forward, and back is just nothing but just, a long ass distance. You can just drive through these things, man. All right, huge ass underground, tunnels and shit like that. Basically, cities underground. All right, so though they had also you have like what is that? All right, so they talk about Area 51, right? Area 51 ain't even a secret place. There's a place called S4, which is off to the side that's inside the mountain. You can YouTube that too, or sometimes you'll see the doors will actually be open, and it's literally carved into the side of the mountain. All right, you have, what is it, Cheyenne Mountain? I think there's another one called like Iron Mountain. There's a bunch of these little governmental bases that's inside of the sides of mountains and things like that, man. All right, and these are the ones that everybody know about. These ain't even the hidden ones, all right? So it says, though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. Like we just read, the saints are going to wind up bringing vengeance upon these basically the elites, man. They're going to bind the kings and the nobles with fetters of chains, or fetters of iron, man. Put chains around their damn neck, man. All right? Hey, that's why when you ever see us at camp, that my favorite sign is that these Edomites future, they going into slavery with the chains around their damn neck, man. Lord will not be a part of that number to be able to go and hunt out these damn elites, man. Put these heathens in the goddamn chains, man. All right? It says, I will, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they hide from my sight in the bottom of the sea with these underground or underwater bases, thence will I command the sea serpent, and he shall bite them. Yeah, you still got Leviathan down there. All right? They ain't even got to that part of the movie yet. All right? But nevertheless, oh, I got one more real quick. We'll close out. We'll close out this. Where is it? Revelation 6. This is Revelation 6 and 12, and this is how the elites, they're measuring the time diligently, as you should be, and they understand what time that we living in. All right, so they're making their moves right now. All right, this is Revelation 6 and 12. I beheld him when he had opened the sixth sealed. All right, so you understand how far off into the game we are right now. All right, we at the end all be all basically. All right, it's only a few major prophecies left to be implemented, and they all gonna roll back to back to back, like we read in Job 20 when he's about to fill his belly. All right, that's talking about when he's fully implementing his new world order system. When he's about to flip the switch on, and as you see the 5G going up, the RFID chip being prepped, the digital currency, so on and so forth. Now you see these elites running to their damn bunkers, man. What time is it? What time does the clock say, man? All right, Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld him when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. All right, and this is, well, let me keep reading, verse 14. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Every mountain and island were moved out of their places. This is basically describing that mushroom cloud. All right, just like when you look at go on YouTube and look at nuclear thermonuclear bomb testing, basically. You know what I'm saying? You see that mushroom cloud start going up, and it start, not only is the mushroom cloud going up, you see a ring that's around that mushroom cloud, and it starts spreading out, man. All right, it's like those old school scrolls, like an actual scroll that you throw on the table. It's all rolled up. You throw it on the table, and you just open it up. You push from both sides, and it just unrolls to both sides. That's how them clouds, are separated, man. It's like a mushroom cloud, man. All right. It says, verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, all right, going back to these noblemen, all right, the so-called elites, all right, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of mountains. All right. Also, in Russia, they just had a drill not too long ago where they had moved 40 million people into an underground bunker, man, for a drill. All right, but this is going right into the same thing, man. So this is nothing new. All right, this ain't nothing that's gonna thwart the plan. This ain't gonna stop the plan. This ain't gonna be like, oh well, y'all niggas are stupid. Y'all reading the Bible and believing in that. These niggas got bunkers. We know about the bunkers. The Most High told us about the shit before they came over to America, man. All right. It says, and said to the mountains and to the rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So they know what's coming. They understand what's popping off. They know what time it is, man. They taking this thing serious, man. What should you be? Seeing that all these things are going to be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What manner of conversation ought you to be in? All right. It says, for the day of his wrath, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? All right. And really, it's only going to be the elect. And the only way they're going to wind up being able to stand is we're going to grab this and close out in the book of Job, back in Job 5 at verse 18. Where is it? Verse 19 says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, like I was going into earlier, we're going to be right here in the belly of the beast till the missiles come down, man. We got to endure all these things, but at the end, we're going to be saved right before these nukes come down. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. And famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. And thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid when destruction cometh. And that's where we at right now, man. Hey, we're not afraid of these things, man. All right. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. All right. So let me go back to verse 21. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid when destruction cometh. The point I want to grab is verse 19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. And that 7th is ultimately talking about those thermonuclear missiles coming down, and that's when we're going to wind up being delivered. All right. So Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, you were edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and taught us his truth and ever will. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing his truth and sincerity in the 4 corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.